content from design is fundamental, whether you want to call it skinning or theming or whatever, that allows you to be able to do some of those things. And again, I think as you're doing this, and you're able to obviously then provide dynamic theming based on which platform they're seeing. So, you know, for those, many probably have already done some of the mobile theming, but you can do the same thing with tablets. You can do the same thing with some sort of digital signage or kiosk experience. But it allows you to basically customize and deliver and serve a unique visual experience to each end user based on the requirements inside of the theme and the CSS and what you've decided in the back end. So that to me is incredibly powerful, because at the end of the day, the challenge right now is people are adopting and looking at the internet and browsing and consuming content on a variety of devices, with a variety of sizes, with a variety of, you know, in some cases the connections are much, much lower, but mobile and tablet adoption are exponentially growing. And in some parts of the world, it's already outweighed desktop consumption. So to me, if you're not already engaged in some sort of mobile or tablet engagement on the site or sites that you're involved with or supporting, you want to get on it. Because that to me is going to be the most important gauge of making sure people are you know, on top of making it easy for people to access the site. Now again, keeping in mind too that the nice thing about, I'm sure most of us use Google Analytics or something like that, okay? Google Analytics has a very, very easy section that allows us to very specifically see, obviously, not just the Internet Explorer and Chrome and stuff, but also, most importantly, the mobile and the tablet adoption and usage. My general rule of thumb is this: if I have a client that reaches a minimum of 10% adoption on their site on either mobile or tablet, we start talking about that. So use the data to make the recommendation. Because my guess is some clients are going to go, oh, whatever, who cares? No, use the data to make decisions. In our business in the digital world, we talk about it as a digital footprint. And at that end, that really allows us to be able to make recommendations that are not necessarily emotionally tied, but tied towards something that numbers don't lie. There are a lot of different, in terms of the mobile side, I would look at things like WP Touch Pro, WordPress Mobile Pack, WP Mobile Detector. Those are really, really good. There's a bunch of them out there. We happen to use WP Touch Pro for the mobile side, and it does a solid job. It does good. Again, as we speak, I'm in the process of, you know, looking and evolving and evaluating new ways and new methods to make this better, but for the most part, you can have a very, very full access to the site with a mobile optimized theme, and I'll show some samples here in a bit and show how we've kind of gone about that. But those to me are going to be great. What I will be doing, just so you guys know, after the fact, I'll be posting this with a bunch of other links. I've got some links in here, but we're working on a whole kind of library of resources for you guys. So if you want to go to our site, you can look at a bunch of recommended downloads and resources for this, as well as links to some responsive design concepts as well. Again, responsive design is the big hot thing right now. We personally are honestly just getting into the responsive design aspect. Again, I've got a little more conservative clientele base, although I've got a couple that are a little bit more progressive. So we're in the process right now of doing that and looking at the ways to leverage and engage and create designs that are going to be, you know, allow us to do more of the shrinking and different things more dynamically. How many of you know what responsive design is, first off? Okay. Okay. So bottom, for those that don't, I mean, it's really this idea of a much more sophisticated way of making a layout accommodate the width and the size, whether it's horizontal or vertical, or you shrink or you stretch it, and all your content elements. And it's really powered a lot by using CSS and a bunch of different things. So it's in many cases a little more clean design, not necessarily as graphically heavy, but very much is very popular. I mean, in my opinion, the place where there's a bit of a gap right now, and I'll show, is that most of the tablet stuff out there that exists is still optimized for mouse. So we're getting into now, I would say, sometimes it's a hybrid where maybe we're not doing a responsive design, but we're doing a design that has more breathing room for a tablet, so it's more finger friendly. But the big challenge with the tablet, obviously, is you go like this and you go like this. I mean, if anybody's looked at Facebook or anything, it sucks, okay? Or, you know, the pinch and zoom and stuff like that. So that's the thing, is the fold, you know, where in terms of that changes so frequently. So to me, that's where part of our responsive design is attempting to address that. But I know I have some clients that want a little bit more visually engaging design than a responsive design. So that's where I'll show you some examples of, and we'll be continuing, like I said, I'll be posting some stuff of how we've done that. So as we speak, I'm trying to wrestle with this. There's kind of a gap, in my opinion, in the sense that we maybe don't want the mobile theme simplicity. We maybe don't want necessarily the full-end desktop, but we need something in the middle for the tablet. So that's honestly, and my father worked at a digital signage and kiosk company for 12 years. So I've been trying to use some of those conventions that were used in that industry inside of the mobile tablet side. Speaking of digital signage and kiosks, this to me, guys, I mean, for those that are you aware